everybody, and welcome back to my channel. 3 outfits and hairstyles later, we are finally here. It's the day, finally, that I am going to be doing this macrame. The prep for this is tedious, and so I did that off screen before we can get to the fun part. I did take some snippets and I'll insert the clips as I go. I am going to be making a 2x2, so 2 feet by 2 feet, 2 feet long with the stick, and 2 feet wide with the stick, and 2 feet long with the yarn. So I pre-cut all of my yarn. I have some here, more on that end of the table, and then more on this side. I also pre-did some of my trimmings, my nice little beautiful little just extra fluff for the macrame piece. This process is very tedious because I had to individually measure every single yarn piece to be a specific length. I also added 2 to 4 inches extra. Macrame cord will shorten. So since I'm doing, the measurements that I'm doing are 2 feet by 2 feet, but I also added 2 extra inches on each end just to give me some kind of space to work with. I also have some beads here, and we're just gonna get to it. So it's fairly simple. It's going to be a lot of fun from here on out, and I'm most likely going to pan over to my close-up cam so that you guys can see what I'm actually doing. So let's do it.
So going through my footage, I actually found that this did not record. You see me setting this up, I'm taking all the necessary precautions, and then when I went into my editing process, it did not record the close-up cam. So I'm just going to leave it as a just simple recording, and hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. And I am so sorry.
So I'm doing a freestyle macrame, which basically means that there's not going to be a particular design set. I'm just going to go where my heart takes me. And so to start with the base colors, the base color is actually going to be this taupe, I believe it's taupe color. So we're going to match up the ends. You go under and you pull it through. This is a Larks head knot, I believe. Right? You do it that way. Or you can do, which I prefer because I like it when it's aligned in the front. And then you just tighten it. And I'll leave it semi-loose for now because we will be tightening, maneuvering things. If you don't like the way it looks, you can always just take it out. And so I will be doing this every inch or so across the entire branch. I stalled to try and find the word. That's really what happened. So we're just going to continue to do that across the board. Here. And you see there's a gap, so I'm going to put one right here. And we're just going to keep doing this all the way through. And in hindsight, I have a lot of yarn. It might be too much, but we'll see. So this is pretty self-explanatory. I am going to do this and come back to you when it's all done with various different colors. It's just a repetitive process. You will do this straight through until you have your entire branch full, and then we get to the really, really fun part when we make it fancy, a little extra. So I'm just gonna speed this up for you and we'll come back when it's done. Just finished all of the grays, and it goes all the way down to past the table here.
I have the fan hitting me, so if you hear that, I'm sorry. It's really hot. So now I think I'm going to add some of this dark color right over here. And then sparingly start adding these. And then I have actual macrame cord right here. So let's go. This is the finished phase 1 look. So from here is the fun part. So I already kind of know what I want to do. I want to make this into a braid. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do that. Let's see. So this is where you kind of just freestyle and you just have fun with it and you kind of make it your own. You can add braids, you can add knots. I'm also going to add some beads and some homemade, I don't know what other way they would be. Some DIY macrame feathers. I also use some jute twine and yarn. I'm just going to throw that in here. And that's it. And that's the fun part. And just start doing random stuff. So we're just going to finish this braid here. And that's it. And then you just do stuff like this. It's a very repetitive process. So while I finish this freestyle large scale macrame, I'm going to pan over here and show you how I made the macrame feathers out of jute twine and yarn and some macrame cord. So as you can see, I've pretty much done a lot. I'm going to show you how I did this process. I would like to do this all the way down the line, but that might be too big, so I might have to cut the string off. So we're gonna grab our 2 twine cords, basically. We're gonna fold it in half, and how we actually attach this, it's basically a Lark's head knot, which is how I did the larger scale macrame piece. So you're gonna grab 2, and it's basically a double Lark's head knot. So you're gonna put one under, as you see me do here. Then you're gonna take the other one, put it through the hole of the first one you just put under, and then take the ends of that first one and then put it through the hole of the second one you just put on there. And then you're just gonna tighten, and it's gonna make this little box, this little square. Tighten it real tight, and then you can just push it up to the top, and it looks just like every other one. And you're gonna repeat this going down. I hope that wasn't confusing. I'll do it a couple more times to show you. So let's start from the beginning with a different piece of yarn. So first, grab the yarn that you want to use, fold it in half, and what you want to do is you want to tie the top off. So it's just a basic loop, just swing her around, pull her through, and tighten it. So what I showed you in the previous clip, I'm going to try and show you again here with actual macrame cord. So here are my 2 strands. I'm going to take one, fold it in half so that the ends meet, and I'm going to tuck that under my resting strand, which is the long strand that we pre-knotted in the beginning, resting on top of the table. So I'm going to make sure both of those ends meet. I'm going to take one, tuck it under just like this. Make sure that there is a little loop open enough so that you can fit the other one through it. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to take the first string that we tucked under, those ends, and we're going to pull it through the loop that we just put through that opening. I know that sounds confusing, but hopefully you can look here. Let me adjust this really quick for you. So you're going to take these ends and we are going to tuck it under. And when that's under, you're just gonna tighten it, pull through, shift it more towards the top of the first knot we made, and you're just gonna keep repeating that process all the way down until you get the thickness you want. And then afterwards, when you're all done, you will actually start to take apart the macrame. Now, it's easier to do it if you have a comb or a dog brush, as I've seen other YouTubers do, but you can very easily just do it with your hands. And when you're all done detangling it, you're then just going to grab a pair of scissors and give it a little trim. This is where you'll finally see the feather shape take form, and you're all done. And then you can just add it to your macrame.
That took a long time, but it's finished and it's pretty. I don't even want to touch it. So for all of you that stuck around to the end, thank you. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more videos like that, then subscribe to my channel. It really helps. And leave a comment down below. Thank you. Bye. It's so pretty. I want to keep it. Blooper.